this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Good morning to Get It Right Texoma with the trio. We got, I'm Terry.
I'm Trey.
And we got Mike always.
Right here.
Right there. And
yep. Our podcast partner in the sky.
There we go. Go live every Friday morning, 7:30. And we're here as we have done this morning. And so we're on Facebook and YouTube, live. Join us every Friday. But if you miss it one time or whatever and you want to share it later, then you can you can share the one on Facebook. However, it'll only be there for 30 days.
That's
but
right.
Longtime archive is on the big one, YouTube.
It lasts for eternity.
Yeah, but subscribe and like and bells and whistles.
We say that at some point there's going to be too much data with all the people posting on YouTube. At some point they're going to have to cut people off.
I don't know.
I mean,
they hadn't so far.
YouTube's
got a bigger budget.
Yeah.
I think that's why Facebook had to cut.
I predict in 5 years, YouTube will cut some of it'll be a certain amount. It'll be a time thing or something they'll cut.
Well, we'll see.
All right, mark the date.
All right,
see.
Yeah,
it
is, he's right.
It is
7/31, July 31st, 2026.
Yep. Trey said it.
And in 2036, we'll come back and check it out.
That's right, yeah. This morning our guest is Scott Poetenisch.
Yes.
And he's got a big, he's already made an announcement, but he's going to talk to us a little bit about his mayoral candidacy, and also he owns a winery.
Yep.
So he's going to talk all about that. We're going to talk wine and politics.
There we go.
That sounds like Kamala Harris.
Yep.
Talking wine and politics.
And I don't even know how to act like her, but I wouldn't want to. So anyway, Scott Poetenisch, and maybe we'll get him to explain the name, surely, because we always like to hear, because sometimes especially the way it's pronounced and spelled is.
Yeah, if you looked at it, there's no way in hell you come up with Poetenisch.
No. So, poet in there's a T in there, but anyway, local restaurant. That's what we start with. Let's get right. Hey, wait a minute. This is Get It Right Texoma. Let's get in.
You can't even read the script, right?
I know. Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's go.
All right. This is the original Casa Manana. This is local restaurant focus. They've been around for a long time, and home of the Red Taco.
There we go.
Their red tacos are phenomenal.
Yes.
I love them. And apparently they've got mini red tacos now.
Mini. They're
just smaller version of the red tacos.
There we go.
So they got their wine sauce. I'll tell you another thing that Casa Manana has. One of my favorite things used to be to go by there and get a little small cup of queso. Their queso is excellent. And a bag of chips. They have those fried
all that
chips.
and a bag of chips.
Yeah, there you go. But they've been around a long time. Right there on 7th Street. 8th Street.
Yeah. 8th Street.
Yeah, right next to the old D4s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been there for, like I said, I don't know what year they opened, but it's been a long time.
Right.
Ever since I can remember. And does it say?
What?
Oh, I was just curious if it sold. So they're open Monday through Saturday. This is one thing I do like about their website. You don't have to search for the hours.
I know.
It's right there.
That's right.
We're open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. So that's lunch and dinner, of course, and close on Sundays.
There you go. So home of the Red 75 years.
1947.
Actually, to 2022. So add 4 years.
Well, but 1947 was it didn't. 1947 didn't change. So
right.
So 1947. So that makes them one of the oldest.
Yeah.
One of the oldest businesses in Wichita Falls.
Right.
I think Husky Hat Company is right in there. I don't remember. There's an accounting firm. So there's a couple businesses, but there's not very many because our business is 1966, and we're one of the oldest businesses. But Casa Manana was around before Eddie got to Wichita Falls.
Yeah. Well,
it's crazy.
I know. Wow. So we'll check them out. They've got, like I said, they got great. Now I get the red taco. I get the I can never remember. I get the plate usually. It's got the taco, red taco, and an enchilada.
Yeah, it's like a combo plate.
Yeah,
they have a lot of combo. Typical Mexican restaurant. They've got a lot of combo plates and things like that. The red tacos are my favorite.
Yeah,
I'll just get a taco plate with the red tacos and the wine sauce.
I was gonna say, do you do the wine sauce?
Oh yeah,
I do.
Absolutely, yeah. But go check them out. I will tell you, there was been a few places that said they were going to do red tacos, and I don't know that anybody's ever really pulled it off.
No, I don't know.
Because they are apparently very complicated.
Yeah, I imagine
to do. And
yeah, well, they've got it down. They got the secret sauce.
Oh, the secret. Look at you go there. No, they do have the secret sauce, so go check them out. There you are. Yeah. So go check them out. That means you have the clap.
There you go. Oh. They make injections for that. So.
Go to the free clinic.
There you go.
But they've been around a long time. Go check them out. They've expanded. They used to, at one time it was just that little part of the building.
Right.
And then they moved. Then they opened up their second room there, so people could go in. You could put more people in.
And it's like seat yourself usually. I guess go in unless I guess it's they're full. But I'm go there and usually just go right on in. You can go to the right or back to the left or right there.
When you go to the middle, that is really old school.
Oh
the booths.
Yeah.
They're
be careful. Watch the knees.
Yeah.
When you get into the booths.
They're old school booths from a bygone era. I'm sure at one time, I don't remember, but I'm sure at one time they had the jukeboxes on the wall at the booth. Remember? Yeah. Well, P3, every place just about in the day that had booths, like in the 70s and early 80s, they had a jukebox on the wall.
Right, and it had the little pages. And it had the number on it.
So you'd have your own little jukebox there. So you were sitting at your booth listening to something, and somebody else was sitting in another booth listening to, there's a tear in my beer or whatever it is. So go check them out. The original Casa Manana, home of the Red Taco.
Yes.
Freddy's Casa Manana did the Red Taco as well, but that's been closed for a long time. And in fact, the last time I saw that building there was a tree growing through it.
609 8th Street in Wichita Falls,
right down
downtown.
from the farmers market.
It's right in the heart. I mean, almost in the heart. Because it's on Indiana, and then it goes to the right a little bit. Yeah, it goes to the right a little bit towards Scott, and then to the left on 8th Street, down past and around the corner back over on Ohio. Check it out. And we got plans of have we announced? We haven't really announced that yet, but we have something coming up in September.
Big plans.
All right. Well, then we will switch back to there. And what do we got next?
Local happenings. Eddie Hill's Fun Cycles is hosting a Cassie Chili Cook-Off.
What's Cassie?
Cassie is Chili Appreciation Society International. This is the serious chili cook.
Not the International Society,
but
the Society International.
That's how they put it. I know. But this is the serious chili cooks. These are the people who go to Terlingua every year for the World Chili Championship.
You said that. Where is that?
Terlingua's down in South Texas. Is that thing supposed to be on over there?
What thing?
That deal that's turned off that has no lights on it.
This or this?
Yeah, that.
No.
I didn't think.
Wireless.
Okay. So no, Terlingua is down by Big Bend.
Big Bend.
Down deep southwest Texas.
Okay.
If you look at the map of Texas where the Big Bend is, that's where, pull up a map of Texas if you would there.
Okay.
It's a ghost town, Terlingua is. And it's high desert. If you've never been down there, it is beautiful country. I mean, I love Terlingua. There, you search for it there.
Yeah. Well, I was going to zip out.
Well, yeah, you have to go a long way. You all the way down, go down, keep going down in the Big Bend. Yep, keep going down. You see where it says Big National Park? Go down. No, down.
Oh.
But go down. Keep going down. See where it says Big Bend National Park, the green.
There it is.
Right there. Now you have to keep going down. There's Terlingua. You see it? The white between the Big Bend National Park and the Big Bend State Park. The white.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is where Terlingua is. There's nothing. It is a ghost town. It really is a ghost.
Okay.
I mean, it's a ghost town, but there's artists that live there. There's a few people that live there, but the Cassie people, the society owns a bunch of land down there, and it's in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And they go down every year. They have their international chili cook-off finals, and you have to qualify to go to this. And this is some serious stuff. So this is a sanctioned Cassie chili cook-off that'll be at Eddie Hill's Fun Cycles, 401 North Scott, downtown Wichita Falls since 1966. EddieHillsFunCycles.com. And it's going to be next Saturday on August the 8th.
Okay.
And it will benefit Emily's Legacy, which is the animal shelter of Clay County, and Miss Fanny's Friends, which is the cat shelter. Here out of Wichita Falls.
Kitty.
So Emily's Legacy, I think, will bring dogs that you can adopt, and Miss Fanny's friends will bring some cats that you can adopt.
All right.
So I think it's a really cool thing. The chili is great. There will be chili tasting cups for donations.
Okay.
So if you want to go down and taste some really good chili, I mean, it's one of those deals. If you've never judged a Cassie chili cook-off, see, look, you can tell how desolate the land is there when you see it. That's what it looks like all the way down there. It's really unbelievable. A lot of people have judged chili cook-offs at, like, the high school or their church or whatever like that, and it's just everybody's whatever thrown together. And usually there's one or two good ones, and then there's a couple that are unedible, and then something in between.
Right.
Every one of these is good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You've judged them.
What,
none of them are bad.
Oh, no, they're all very good. Yeah, I mean, and it's hard. I mean, I'm judging, and I'm like, wow, and they all.
Well, that's why you don't judge against each other. You judge each chili on its own merits.
Exactly.
And so you may give, out of 10 chilies, you may give 8 of them 9s.
Exactly.
But it depends, and where the difference is what the other judges think.
Right.
So it usually first through 10th place is very close. It's not usually you don't have any 1s or 2s or 3s or anything like that.
Right. Oh yeah, it's been real.
But come down and check us out. It's going to be, I think, started at 10 o'clock. The chili cooks will be there. You can wander around and talk to them. They always like to tell you about what they're doing and how they're doing their chili and all like that. They're great about sharing all that. They're really nice people.
Right.
And then also maybe look for to adopt a pet. By the way, well, I'm not going to go on my rant about adopting pets.
Okay. I'm
big on adopting pets. I've adopted pets, but you're not a hero because you adopted a damn pet. These people that put this crap on their bumper stickers, I have a rescue animal. It's a you got a dog from the pound. Yeah. Let's call it what it is, right?
Right, but
not everything's there. Not everybody. You didn't rescue anything. Maybe who could have known? Maybe a better person could have come in and gotten that animal. Maybe that animal got a shitty home at your house compared to the other place.
Yeah. Hey.
Maybe the next person, if they had held out, maybe the next person would have been better. You would have gotten them that damn dog food you stick in the refrigerator and crap like that. By the way, I am so sorry. I am not into that. You can do what you want with your money. That is rich or upper middle class white people stuff. To get damn dog food with your dog's name on it that you stick in the refrigerator.
Well,
whatever, do with your money what you want to do. I don't care. It's your money. If you want to burn $100 bills, I don't care, but I do think it's crazy.
So there you go. It's all fully published on their website.
What's that?
Your event at Eddie Hills.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there you go.
These are some serious chili
Oh,
cooks.
yeah, they are, man.
Come down and check it out. We'll talk about it next week and just to remind everybody. But make plans. Come on down. And like I said, it's really nice to see the cooks cooking. And they can do inside or outside. Most of them are probably going to be inside because it's going to be hotter than hell.
Yeah.
So we have a big, huge area so they can cook inside, which is nice for them. They just have their little propane. They don't cook big, huge pots of chili.
No.
They cook small batches of chili. Yep. But they will have some chili for tasting available.
There you go. All right.
Check it out.
We'll see you there. Don't you dare miss it. All right.
That's right. Let's pick up with where we were last week. We were talking about the DSA platform, the Democratic Socialists of America. And these people are pretty radical and pretty wild. I hear, if you listen to the media, they're saying, oh, they're really taking hold. They're really taking hold. So I think, according to them, they have about 1 million people in their party. Okay, that's a lot of people, but compared to the total population in America, it's pretty small potatoes. Mm-hmm. They are making noise, but once again, what they're doing is they're turning Democrat strongholds a little bit more blue. Yeah. We'll see what happens when they have to go up in a general election and see. But we started on their platform last week. They're if you go on their website, it looks very look like Stalin or somebody propaganda-wise. But we stopped with tax the rich. Okay. First off, I am getting so tired of people talking about people not paying their fair share. The rich not paying their fair share. First off, my number one question always is, and I'm not rich, by the way. So my number one question is, though, why do you think because somebody makes more money, they ought to pay more taxes? What's fair about that? I don't understand the fairness. Do you?
Well, no. I mean, the percentage. I mean,
why? Why a higher percentage? I don't think it's fair. Why should somebody pay because they make more money simply because they make more money?
Well, yeah,
because let me tell you something.
I got you.
You can say all day long, oh, everybody's rich because they took it from their granddaddy and all that.
No,
Bull crap.
most people who have money have earned it. They built a business on not
They sacrificed.
It wasn't inherited.
And by the way, a lot of the people that are really rich, they employ people. They put money back into the economy.
Yeah.
Most of them don't have it squirreled away like Scrooge McDuck in gold coins in a pool.
Right.
Right. They you could hate Elon Musk all you want.
Right.
The fact is, if Elon Musk tomorrow said, I'm taking all my money, I'm liquidating everything, I'm going to take all my money, and I'm going to go home, and I'm going to go live on my private island somewhere, Epstein Island or wherever, you know how many people would be out of work?
Oh, yeah.
You know how much it would actually tank the economy.
Oh, yeah. He's big, and that's a different discussion about how much there is, I think, an issue to be discussed. Now, how you fix it or if you can fix it of the consolidation of wealth. There has been.
Well, that's a whole different.
I know.
We're talking about. Let's focus on this.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
We can do it for a different time.
But I'm just saying that. But to your point, that it's so large that he's got such a large not inheritance, but a asset pool that if he cashed out, exactly, he would take. It would be a lot of jobs, a lot of high-paying jobs. He doesn't. What he does, he can't employ slave labor, right? I mean, he's got engineers that are, literal rocket scientists.
But he does have those, but he also has people that cleans their buildings.
Oh, no doubt.
So
right.
You're right. It's not only high-paying jobs, but it's also the medium-paying jobs as well.
But,
and those people, I'll tell you, in my opinion, they get hurt worse.
Right. Because they depend more on that job because the other people could probably get another job easily.
Could probably get another job and hopefully have a little bit squirreled away.
Right.
So, anyhow, tax rates. Let me give you a little statistics here. I got a little statistics about taxing.
Formerly nicotine. Oh, no, not. Okay.
According to the Tax Foundation's latest summary of the federal income tax data, the top 1% of taxpayer paid 40.4% of all individual income taxes. Let me say that again. The top 1% of tax,
1%, yes.
And this is in America.
Right.
The top 1% of taxpayers paid over 40% of all the taxes. Combined, the top 10% of earners account for over 70% of total income earnings.
Yep.
So saying somebody's not paying their fair share.
Right. What is fair share?
What is fair?
Right.
I mean, at some point, do you? How much do you owe the government? I mean, and I go back to I've been such a big thing on either a consumption tax or a flat tax.
Yeah.
Everybody has skin in the game. Now, even on a flat tax, I don't think that people making under $10,000 or $12,000. Let's come up with a number.
Yeah.
Maybe $20,000. I don't. Or your first $30,000, your first $40,000 is not taxed.
Exempted. Yeah.
I would be okay with that, But at some point, we've got to stop this taxing where we're bleeding people dry. And what it also creates is it creates all these loopholes. It creates jobs for a bunch of accountants and tax lawyers, as opposed to turning into a real simple look. Whether you like Rick Perry or not, when he was running for president, he carried a little index card in his pocket. And his tax plan was you filled out your index card, your federal income tax is right here on this index card.
Right.
No, not a bunch of loopholes, not a bunch of exemptions, not a bunch of anything. Here you go.
Yeah.
Everybody pays something.
I know that. And about as far as taxes, originally we made a lot of money on tariffs. Right. Whenever there was no income tax. Right. There was no income tax, and then eventually, through time, we've actually become more and more taxed. And here's the thing that gets me. You can figure out however we get our money. Okay, great. But we're spending. I haven't looked at the debt clock in a while. Are we at $40 trillion yet?
Probably.
But anyway, the point is,
it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, but we're spending more money than we're even getting. No matter it doesn't throw out the idea. Don't even worry about the tax, where it's coming from. We're hurting ourselves even more. You talk about these guys are actually we're actually putting more money in the rich's pocket by the more money that the government goes into debt, gets put into the economy, which is now that money, and the people who know how to make money are getting that. That's what happened during COVID. That's exactly where all that money went.
That's why Amazon and all them
exactly
all the mom and pop businesses that were shut down.
Right.
But Walmart didn't get shut down. Home Depot didn't get shut down. Lowe's didn't get shut down.
The people who are complaining about this very thing are the ones that were probably trying to put masks on us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And those people then caused us to go to shutdown, which then we had to make up for all the jobs, and so that's why this big spending bill. I mean, that's why you get when you start talking about taxing the rich, and that's a huge focus for you. But anyway,
I agree. All right, Green New Deal. That's been well documented. That's a scam. You talk about putting money in special interest groups.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, we can spend trillions of dollars. We're not going to fix the whole world based on. We're still working on that.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but
we can't fix the whole world based on what India and China and all of them try to do with pollution. And by the way, isn't America as clean as it's ever been?
Oh yeah,
air, water,
right,
land quality.
Yeah, well, we can do some smart things, and it doesn't have to be crazy. The green.
But there are more trees in the United States of America right now than there were when the Pilgrims landed. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that one more time. There are more trees in the United States right now than there were when the Pilgrims landed. And
the old trees don't exchange oxygen, carbon dioxide for oxygen as efficiently as new trees.
That's why I'll tell you, if you want to watch something interesting, The Last Woodsman or Axemen, there's some of these shows on TV. You'll learn a little bit about those shows. Yeah, they're quote unquote reality, but so's The Deadliest Catch. But you wouldn't, they ain't faking that sort of stuff. Neither are the Axemen. It's a very dangerous job. But these are about people who they're loggers. First off, they don't go in and they don't strip mine everything. They walk around and they got guys called hand fallers. Right. And they literally go into a forest and they cut this tree, then cut this tree, then cut this tree.
Conservation.
And they look for old growth trees because there is a life cycle to everything. Once again, the old growth tree will cut it out. That leaves room for the newer trees. And like you said, the newer trees exchange oxygen better.
Yep.
So let's keep going.
All right.
There's more to it. There's more to this insanity.
Free
Palestine. Yeah, we're gonna. So that is going to be your platform to free a country that has zero to do with what we have. It makes zero sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In the U.S. war machine.
Oh.
Look, there could be a lot of arguments and back and forth on that sort of thing, but.
Well, look, they say greatly reduce the U.S. military budget, close overseas bases, and bring troops home. Okay, so it's not, hey, why don't look at making an efficiency, make it more efficient, or make it more deadly, or more protective, or whatever. Their goal is simply to close. That's it. Yeah, they don't care anything about security.
By the way, go ask those countries who have those military bases if they want the list of the cities around there to close.
Oh,
Laken Heath, England. How great do you think their economy is based on their base?
Yeah.
You know how much Shepherd Air Force Base helps our economy?
Right.
Those Air Force bases, those military bases overseas, they help their economy as well.
But to be fair, that's not the reason we should be over there.
No, I agree. Okay. I agree. I'm just saying they don't want to. But it needs to be strategic for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Freedom of movement. Let's skip to that. Basically, this is no borders.
All allow workers to freely migrate between countries. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Okay. So this goes back to we got to have rules. There's nothing wrong with having a lock on your door, but you want to be able to let people in. I've mentioned, we've talked about immigration. I've talked about immigration ad nauseum on this program. I know immigration. My wife lived immigration. Yeah. Right. We get it. My in-laws are working on immigration right now. But it goes back to there's only so many resources.
Yeah.
And the American taxpayer is paying for all the stuff we have. They're paying for the roads. They're paying for the infrastructure. They're paying for everything. I am great with people coming in here and working in our economy, coming in to work, as long as they're legal. We vetted them. And even if they're temporary workers, they come and they work, they pay taxes, they pay into the system because they're using these resources too. Then they go home to wherever and then they come back and do all that. I'm all right with that. I'm just not open to this just let people roam around.
No.
And by the way, you know what it does? It hurts the poorest Americans, the poor working class of Americans. Those are the ones that get beat out of stuff. And the other thing it hurts is it drives prices of housing up. Once again, it affects the poor people. People that are middle class, but especially upper middle class and above, it doesn't affect you. No. I mean, quite frankly, you probably have a house. You probably are locked into a mortgage. You can live there, as long as you make your payments, you can go ahead and just live there the rest of your life. You don't have to rent anything. But renters, people who rent, this is what really screws them by bringing all these extra people in. They've got to have places to live.
Right. Well, it just the whole open borders idea, and along with the them just wanting to close military bases over and reduce the budget, that they are not security minded. Obviously, they don't care, or it seems to be it's a low priority.
Right.
So,
all right, keep scrolling there.
We got universal suffrage. Oh, we all need to suffer.
Yeah, anyway. we all need to vote, no matter if you're legal or illegal.
No.
There was a show. I don't know if it was like the Tonight Show or something one time where they were out on the streets and they were asking women if they would sign a petition to end women's suffrage.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well.
And there were some that actually did it. Yeah, I will say suffrage is a weird word, though.
No, I know.
I don't blame people for not knowing what suffrage is. Suffrage is the right to vote, which I don't know whoever came up with that. It's pretty stupid.
Not suffer, but suffrage. Yeah. Suffrage. Interesting word there, but
basically,
so no, we shouldn't just open that up to everybody.
Real quickly, let's hit a couple more things here. They're wanting to end the presidency, as we know it.
Oh, they want to go straight popular vote.
Well, hang on before you even get there. In the Senate, and just have representative Congress. They want to go straight popular vote for presidency if they keep it, because they talked about wanting to end the presidency. Here's the problem with that. Here is the biggest problem. There is a reason why the Electoral College exists.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because otherwise, you would have 25 cities in America that would basically determine who the president was. The fact is, just because somebody lives in Montana doesn't mean that they shouldn't have a fair shake at electing a president. Right. The Electoral College is fair. It doesn't, or equitable. I hate the word fair. It's equitable. It doesn't say the people of Montana get as many votes as the people in California, but it's not the same based on population. It is a percentage, and it needs to be.
Right. It's much like how the Senate. Now the Senate versus the House. The Senate originally was voted in. The senators were voted in by the state legislatures,
and that's what that's all the point about the Senate. They're supposed to represent the state legislature and have equal vote. It doesn't matter if you're in Texas or Delaware.
Yeah, exactly. And but how they're elected has been modified a little bit. But regardless, that is a protection for us. And it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on, if since we're primarily a binary, Democratic Republican. By you having the representation that it doesn't do it by popular, gives you a lot better voice in say so, and you're not some little in Nebraska they don't have the same population.
Well, what it also does is it makes sure that politicians need to appeal to everybody in the country and realize that the president is a president for everybody. Right? Because otherwise the president can say, okay, I'm going to go to Los Angeles, Seattle, New York, Houston. Yeah. I'll go to 25 major cities. Yeah. I'll campaign like hell there, and then screw the rest of the country because it doesn't matter what they want. It doesn't make a difference. And that
puts all the politicians in the same boat. They're just going to go to the places like that.
This is what happens when you have this popular vote. You have things like you have California. There's more registered Republicans in California, in the state of California, than there is any other state in the country.
Right.
But and they do have people that are in Congress that are Republicans, but the mayor. Not the mayor. I'm sorry, the governor is not a Republican. Right. Maybe Steve Hilton will be, but we'll see. But it's been very tough. And it works the same way in Texas. In Texas, it's a popular vote. and this is what happens. Every state elected official is Republican. Yep. So if you're a Democrat, you shouldn't really necessarily like popular voting either, because it sucks. Maybe if you're a Democrat in Texas, maybe it doesn't work out for you.
Yep. So, all right. And then what? Want to do the last one real quick?
Now let's move on. We got a couple more things we need to hit. Our guest is here.
Okay.
So my point is, I encourage you to please go read up on the Democratic Socialists of America on your own. Yeah. Don't just buy their bullshit. Don't just buy in. Read it. Read what they actually want to do, and think how that's really going to affect people. Yep. And it's so much propaganda. Okay. There we go. Real quick, our favorite America's doctor, Anthony Fauci.
Yeah. Pled the fifth on every single
111 times yesterday, and he was in a Senate hearing. And this is ridiculous on both sides. First off, I don't necessarily like these congressional hearings. I think they need to modify it. These people in Congress can be complete assholes to the people who show up to testify, and they should not be allowed to do that.
Right.
There should be some decorum. If you're going to call me to testify, then you need to shut up and listen to what I have to say. You know, not this. I'm reclaiming my time. Maxine Waters or whoever. No, but so there doesn't need to be this combative thing. I don't like that. So they need to modify that. But the second part of that as well is that you can't plead the fifth on everything. But like the question was, they had a question: is what color is the carpet in front of you?
Or your tie.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Or come on, well, you can't incriminate yourself on those sort of things.
No, but here's the thing though. So is it true? And this is my question. The way who's the chairman was.
Was it Hawley?
Paul.
Oh no, Rand Paul.
Rand Paul. Yeah, he's a doctor, right?
He's he's a medical doctor.
All right, so he was saying that because of the immunity that Biden granted Fauci, that there's no reason why he shouldn't answer, and on top of that he's compelled. He's compelled to answer. Because Congress said so. So I don't know if that's 100% true, but in this case, maybe it is, because if he's got the ability and there's no way they're going to get prosecuted, then
we don't really have enough room. We only have 3 microphones. Yeah.
Okay.
So come on in.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyhow.
So we can file. Yeah. So that's the main thing is just I just have those questions anyway about that particular aspect of it. So.
Right.
All right.
Well, absolutely. All right. Our guest is in. Scott, we do it live. We're live.
Yes, and
so it's always live. Scott
Poetenisch
is in with us. That's how you say it, right?
That's perfect.
And tell us about what's that name?
Wait. What's the origin of the name?
It's German.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're in Europe, the P-O should have 2 umlauts.
Yeah, umlauts. Yeah.
So it's Poetenisch in Germany. United States, we've Americanized it to Poetenisch.
Okay. Well, my name Sarala is Czech.
Okay.
So Eastern European, similar type thing, and like my great grandmother, it was Sarala. Sounds like you're clearing your throat.
Apparently, mine's Scottish or something, and it's Mac Adams. So
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, but it's one of those deals. I mean, people misspell my name or mispronounce my name. They got to kill your name all the time.
Yes.
What's the most creative?
Let me ask you a question. When somebody asks you your name, do you just spell it? Don't even say it?
I say it. Yeah,
I spell it. I just spell it.
What I do is I say it. It's pronounced Poetenisch, just like it's spelled. And they kind of look at me like...
Yeah. or I'll do it's Smith, S-R-A-L-L-A.
Yeah, but yours is easy to spell, though. How long it would take to spell yours?
You don't know how many people want to put an A between the S and the R.
Sarala.
Yeah, I say Sarala. S-R-A-S-A-R. Nope, I just said S-R-A.
Yeah.
But you guys had it easy, because me growing up, I had a heck of a time spelling that name.
I imagine.
That's actually what I said last week when Brad was here. Brad Rogers was in yesterday. I said Scott was in the 4th grade before he figured out how to spell his name.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're going to talk about a couple of things, but the first thing let's talk about your business.
Which one?
Well, your horseshoe bin. Well, you talk about any of them, but you have a great winery.
Yes.
And it's been around for. And how long has the winery been there?
So we purchased it in 2018. And it was actually called Wichita Falls Vineyard and Winery before that by the Gates family, and they did a wonderful job. I think they had it for about 10 years prior to that. And then new chapter in their life, they got a little aged and that stuff, and they wanted to move to Florida. So we came along, they came along, and we made a deal, and we bought it. And it changed the name then, too.
Tell people where it's located.
So we're on, right at the end of Peterson Road South, 3399 Peterson Road South. Literally from where we're at here in your studio is less than a 10-minute ride out there. Yep. And it is a world away. It is
it is. There. It is. You get out there and you start going on the winding roads out there. Mm-hmm. You leave town. You kind of leave your troubles behind. Yeah. And you go out there, and it's a beautiful property. I mean, you pull onto the property, and you've got the office and the
winery complex,
winery complex, whatever you call it, tasting room and all that. Yeah. Got the beautiful house down there. Got the vineyard out there. So
people come out there and sit on the balcony or on the front porch or whatever, and just kind of look at everything, and it is really nice. Right?
Yeah. So on your wine, how much of your wine that you sell do you produce?
Just about
percentage-wise.
Just about all of it.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, in some shape, manner, or form. I do buy some juices, right, because I can't make all the grapes at once, but I do ferment and I blend and all of those magical things.
Well, there's also probably grapes you can't grow in here, isn't there?
Well, yeah, so like, for instance, like Concord does very poorly in the state of Texas. It's more the northern grape, so I buy it as juice.
Okay, so you buy the juice and then you make wine.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Okay, you're not from here. Obviously, everybody can tell by a little bit of an accent here. Yeah. What brought you to Wichita Falls?
So born and raised in the greater Milwaukee area and did a bunch of career moves up there, then moved to Quincy, Illinois, which I was a vice president of a very large corporation. And then I got recruited to Wichita Falls by the company called Tranter.
Oh,
so
okay,
I came down here as their president, and my P&L responsibility was Canada to Brazil, and I managed 5-6 different plants. Life was good for about 6 years, and a CEO came in. We saw the world through a different lens, and I decided to go buy a winery. So moved into that direction for a period of time, and then they decided to move to Houston. So a couple of people approached me at a farmer's market and said, can you do something about it? Because at the time I was chairman of the board of the Chamber of Commerce. So I made a few calls to Europe because they're actually owned by a European company. Turns out now they want to move, so this group said, should we try to buy them? So I am very pleased. I had a partner that got a number of investors together, and we acquired the manufacturing operations, intellectual property, and all the equipment of 3 of their 5 products.
Oh, wow.
And we are doing extremely well.
And what products, what type of products is it?
So we're a heat exchanger company. So we make jackets, bayonets, things that either heat or cool something, okay? Our top 3 markets is oil and gas, so you would find us in refineries, around tanks on the outside, chilling oil, cooling oil, what have you. Food products. We provide the heating elements for Tyson to make chicken nuggets. Uh-huh. So we heat the oil up and things like that. And then some really cool applications. We just shipped some panels to an NHL hockey site for their Zamboni machine. So the Zamboni machine scrapes the ice. Mm-hmm. They drop it over a pit, drop the ice. Our panels turn it to water, and then pump it back up into the machine.
Wow.
Yeah. And what was the thing? He was at our leads group, or it's really called a link-up group. But anyway, on Tuesday, and he said that somebody brought up that in the mines.
Yeah. So our largest opportunity, about a year and a half ago, we built a set of panels, about 500 of them, for cooling in a South African gold mine.
Oh, wow.
So the mine is down 2.5 miles, and there's about 10,000 people working. And
hard to put a mini split down there.
Well, that's just it. Forget it. The best way to do it is actually make ice on the surface and send it down there, let it cool, let fans go across it, turns the water, and comes back to the surface. So they bought us about a year ago that we sent them down there. They're ecstatic. They make 120 tons of ice an hour to feed the mine. We're in phase 2 right now, and it's a $1.6 million package that we're about ready to make the final shipment.
Wow.
And so I had a chance to go there about a month and a half ago to the mine. It's nothing like you've never seen. The way it drops the ice and that stuff, it's like thunder in your chest when it's all falling at once. Wow. 120
How much at each time it makes, or is it kind of, or does it rotate through different sections?
There's about 8 ice houses, panels. Okay, right. So it goes 1, 2, 3, all the way through, and then restarts it again. The cycle's about 20 minutes from dropping
You can
of
freeze
ice.
it in 20. Oh,
yes,
wow.
These panels are ice cold, and then they form about a half-inch thick of ice, and then they switch the circuit and they put some warm fluid in there, and then it drops and slides straight down.
That's cool.
2.5 miles.
2.5 miles.
Terminal velocity at 160 miles an hour when it hits the bottom.
Now, I'm curious on the physics. Have y'all calculated how much evaporation occurs just on the
Very
drop?
little, because
Really?
from the time the ice drops till it hits the bottom of the mine is around 2.5 minutes.
Oh yeah, so there's not a lot.
There's very little loss.
That's amazing, though. That's on a scale that's unimaginable, even 2.5 miles.
What's the temperature down in the mine normally?
about 130 degrees.
Wow.
And we chill it down to just around 80 degrees.
Well, hey, that's a huge upgrade.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
I bet
it's
their
that
production has
hot?
gone through the roof.
Well, gold
Or
right
will
now is a little over $4,000 an ounce, and they are cranking it out like you wouldn't believe. And so they mine it and they smelt it right on the same site.
Uh-huh.
And this is the deepest mine in the world right now, and they're producing about $17 billion of gold a year. And when they fly a helicopter in to pick the ingots up, the helicopter really doesn't land for security reasons. It comes in, they shove the gold into it.
Oh,
and it takes
gosh.
off right
The
away.
logistics and
Wow.
security
Like,
around
stuff
all
you
that.
never
Wow.
even
Yeah,
think about.
I know.
And the other thing, when we got there, we had to give our passports a couple of days ahead of time, background checks and all that stuff. So we get there, had to repeat the process again, and then they gave us breathalyzer tests. You could not enter the mine property if you had above a 0.
Oh.
For accidents and stuff like that, yeah.
Wow.
Totally different world.
Which is ironic. The guy that owns a winery had a So okay. So
Sorry.
back to local. That's great. I mean, I think that's unbelievable. It's real fascinating. What got you into the wine business?
Well, that's kind of funny you asked that, because I did not want to get into the wine business. I like drinking brandy because I'm from Wisconsin, and that's the #1 drink up there.
Yeah, I had no, well, it's cold as hell up there. You got to, which is it's really stupid to say cold as hell, but it's very cold.
But I get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted actually to, when I decided to leave Tranter, I wanted to start a distillery, okay? Well, to get a distiller's permit at the federal level and then the state level is about a 2.5-year process, and I don't have that much patience, okay?
Yeah.
So actually, brandy is distilled wine. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys knew that. That's, so I figured, well, let's start the winery business, and I can dovetail into a distillery. That has not happened because my life has changed in a couple of different directions. But I got into the wine business with the intention of becoming a distiller.
But I do know this. I know more about alcohol than for somebody that doesn't drink than anybody that I know that doesn't drink. Port is wine and brandy, isn't it not?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and it's really, port should only come from Portugal.
Oh.
So if
What
today
do you call it if it's made here? But it's basically wine and brandy you mix here.
dessert wine.
Ah.
Yeah, so like
okay.
champagne truly can only come from the Champagne region.
Of France. Okay.
Cognac can only come from the Cognac region. It's a brandy, and then port can only come from Portugal. So yeah, the laws changed 15, 20 years.
Oh, so there's laws about how you name?
Oh,
and
yeah.
what to- oh, wow.
In the
Okay.
alcohol business? Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
It is
Wow.
a heavily regulated business.
Well, it's probably one of the most regulated businesses in America.
Yeah, well-
is the liquor or the alcohol
alcohol
business.
Did this? I'm just curious. Historically, and it's just a short answer, basically yes or no. But how much of this, or did some of this come out of Prohibition?
Oh, all of it did.
Okay, so all this. So beforehand, then we had Prohibition, and then now all these rules got laid out.
When I fill out my monthly reports for TABC and then the annual reports for TTB, which is the alcohol tobacco thing, you can clearly see this is remnants of the Prohibition. By how much alcohol, who you sold it to, not individuals, but I have to report every month what store I sold it to, at what price I sold it to, how much, and then they go back and check how much they bought it for. And
How much of it's just about the tax?
I'm not at liberty to say that.
Okay.
So, I will tell you one thing that's really nice about your winery. 'Cause I go out there with my family sometimes. My daughters drink, and my wife does drink wine and stuff like that. But I'll go out there and drink water and just sit with them. But like the cheese plates, the charcuterie boards,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. There's more to it than just alcohol. You got a lot more stuff out there.
So I want to give a shout out to
pretzels.
our staff. Courtney does a great job. She's here with us today and that stuff, and my daughter Gabrielle.
Yeah.
So the business has evolved over time that I'm really in the back room now. I'm the vintner maker and that stuff. And they run the front of the business. They do all the marketing, do all that stuff. So even when I come out from the back room and say, hey, can I help? I get the look like, go back there. Okay.
Yeah.
But they do a great job. Courtney does a real good job making cocktails with a wine base and that stuff, slushies and that stuff. The charcuterie boards, you're absolutely right about that. We do flatbread pizzas, we do pretzels, we do all those things. Every day we're open, but then we also do specialty events like murder mystery dinners and that stuff.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So that's our #1 event, and we typically do them in spring and fall because of the hot and cold and that stuff. But it is an in-character audience participation murder mystery dinner. So it lasts about 3 to 3.5 hours. We'll give you your character about a week ahead of time so you know who you are when you come. People typically dress in period costumes.
Oh, wow.
So
it's real serious
it's
about
a
it. Yeah.
4-course dinner, 3 glasses of wine, and we do themes like the movie Grease, or Al Capone, Speakeasy, The Godfather. So you'll have characters from those movies, and you come in, and we'll give you a little paragraph that says who you are, and we do the first 15 minutes. We go around the room and say, who are you and why are you here? Like, I'm Al Capone's accountant or something like that. Then we move
Never ask me about my business.
yeah. Then we move into another part of the winery where we do maybe a little bit of gambling. We give people play money. Lights will go out, somebody gets shot, and then we get into the solving of the murder. So we give characters questions that they have to ask each other.
But they're dressed up.
They're dressed in character.
That's funny. So, so did you're the air? Did you get all this? Did you go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show dressed in character when you were a kid?
Yes.
I knew it.
I did.
That's the first time. If you've never seen that before,
Yes.
I was too young to be at a Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I had a friend who had older brothers, so I was able to go spend the night with him, and I got to go a lot of places I shouldn't have been able to go. And at the mall, the theater at the mall, they used to show the Rocky Horror Picture Show every Friday and Saturday night at like midnight, and people would show up and
with
dressed
hot
up in
dogs
characters.
and what, toast?
The newspaper,
Yeah.
the squirting.
Oh, my
toast.
God.
So I never. We went. I was old enough that I went to that, but I didn't dress up. But we went, and it was still kind of fun. It was. It's
I never
and even
dressed up
today.
either. It was crazy though.
Downtown Milwaukee, they had the same thing every Friday and Saturday night at the Oriental Theater. First time I went, midnight, I'm saying, what is going on here? Right? Didn't quite get it. The next time, audience participation. It's a totally different
people
experience.
stand up. They're doing that.
Yeah.
Brad, and yeah, okay.
Janet.
The
Janet.
neutron dance or something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Well, that's awesome. So, tell us about when is the winery open?
So it's open Thursday through Sunday. So on Thursday, it's open from 3 to 7. Friday, it's open from, 3 to 7. Saturday, it's noon to 7. And then Sunday, it's 1 to 6. On Sundays, from 3 o'clock on, we have a wine down weekend. So every bottle that's been opened, it's half off.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, come visit us.
And then also you can see at the farmers market
Yes.
on Travis Street.
Well,
right?
we actually are participating in both of them right
Okay.
now. So, it's pretty good. So sometimes we're at Travis and sometimes we're at downtown.
So
And it's a great experience if anybody's never been to either farmer's market. It's pretty cool.
yeah, we definitely would recommend doing it. And then how do people find out about the special events?
So follow us on Facebook. So we have a website and a Facebook site. The website across the top bar has Murder Mystery. Click on it, and you can see the pictures of all the people that have been dressed up and everything.
Yeah.
And then for Facebook, that's where we do our ticketing and that stuff. So watch us on Facebook. We limited the guests to 24 because it just gets too unwieldy.
Oh, yeah.
So they sell out really fast.
Especially if I've been to the murder mysteries where there's no audience participation. You sit and kind of watch, and every once in a while somebody will come up and say something to you.
Yeah.
But I've also been to a couple that were audience participation that were, but you didn't know before you got there that you were going to participate.
Oh, yeah.
They just pick people out. So this is a totally thing. So I can imagine you do have to keep it at a minimum, otherwise you can get crazy.
Yeah, and the really
do a
cool
3
thing
shot
is
at the
I
bottom.
would say
Oh, yes.
99% of the people show up are in costume. And there was 1 or 2 occasions where you could see the gentleman showed up in a white T-shirt and a baseball hat, and you can tell the wife dragged him to the thing.
Yeah.
And he would come up to me afterwards and say, man, I wish I would have dressed up because it would have been cooler that way.
Right. So, and by the way, if you're not during the hours or you can't make it out there, you can
yeah.
go to United and get your stuff.
United Market Street,
Street
Cox.
and Cox Liquor.
Yeah,
Yes,
there we
we
go.
are very happy to
Now, sometimes you have a magician. Is y'all still doing that?
He's
Yeah,
still doing
yeah.
that. We do a
That's
magician. He comes out. He is incredible if you've never seen him and that
Yeah.
stuff. We also do like themed dinners like German night, Italian night, and things like that. So,
But my wife and I have been to a couple of those
yeah,
German
yeah,
and Italian nights. Yeah.
but like I said, when we post for the event, do it quickly if you're interested because it goes pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
All these special events. Really cool. All right, well, I guess there's nothing else to talk about. You also made another big announcement here recently.
Yes, I did.
So let's talk a little bit about that. We talked about business and everything. Now let's talk about politics.
Sure. So I have decided to run for the position of mayor of City Wichita Falls.
Okay.
And the reason I did it, we've been here for coming up almost on 2 decades and that stuff. And I've lived through a lot of cities. I've lived in Germany. I've lived in China for a while, Illinois, Wisconsin. And I've always felt since I got here that the city has never reached its full potential. And I still believe that pretty strongly. And I think that's a lack of solid leadership, accountability to move the needle forward and that stuff. If you look at the city, we have stagnated since 1960. We're nearly the same population.
Oh, yeah.
The latest census has dropped this by 2,000, so we're now at 101 versus 104.
And by the way, real quick, just for historical, between 1950 and 1960, Wichita Falls doubled in size. It went from basically 50,000, roughly 50,000 to 100,000.
I agree.
And then it's been at 100,000 since.
And I am trying to grow a business here, the Delta T Thermal Solutions, and I need to attract top quality talent to this town. I cannot do it. I struggle to bring in engineers and those types of people because you take them downtown, it's nondescript. There's nothing there. There's no vibrancy. People have choices in this world, and I need them to choose Wichita Falls, and I want to do something about that.
Now, of course, the schools are a lot better now, so the schools should be a big help now.
It's a big help, but again, it drops off quickly after that. So I'm going to do something about it.
Which the city and the schools are two. I'm sorry,
Right.
people don't realize the city has nothing to do with the schools.
They are
two different things. I mean, they are. People care about what's going on, but as far as the way the schools run or the way the buildings are and the way the city runs are just two completely different entities.
But it is a selling point to the city.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And I've embedded myself in this community I've been 2-time chairman of the board of the Chamber of Commerce. I've been a board of directors on the ballet. I've been the city streetscapes chairman. I currently sit on a board of directors of a local bank and that stuff. So I'm deeply embedded in this community, and I want to raise up my commitment to the city, and that's why I'm running.
Okay. So what is your top 3 platform ideas?
So it's business leadership. I have led large corporations. I know how to get things done with a sense of passion and a sense of urgency. I need that in this town. I need to move the needle quickly. Second thing is I know how to run a budget, and I know where to spend things properly. I think we're spending budget and tax dollars inappropriately throughout the different districts of the city of Wichita Falls. Our budget has gone from $173 million in around 2000. Will be over $260 million.
Yeah, it's grown a lot.
Crazy, but I don't see the value being returned to the citizens. The other thing is I'm the pet projects. I think they're just crazy right now. The waterfalls need to be fixed. I get it. That's not an $8 million project. So I think we should have been fixing it all along. I think our infrastructure is crumbling, and we're starting to pay those bills right now. Lucy Park is closed because of infrastructure. We're spending $1.8 million on a weather siren system that basically was not maintained, and I can keep right on going down.
So what would you do to? Well, you mentioned the falls. What would be if you were the king? What would be your solution for the falls?
So the falls, first off, I'm going to go back and say we need to maintain our assets. Number one, preventative maintenance gets us a long way. Mm-hmm. So I would dial down the expenditure. I think we need to fix the falls. It's iconic falls. It's not an $8 million problem. I think we need to fix the facade to make sure it's proper, but it's not $8 million. Okay, I think that money can be used for somewhere else and that stuff.
Okay. Have you ever served, and you've served on a lot of boards, have you ever served on a governmental board before, an elected official
No,
position
this is
board?
my first time.
Be the first time on that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I just wondered because it's like the dynamic a little bit. I know the mayor can do some things and actually can lead the charge.
Yes.
But can't really. It's not all hands on. They don't quote unquote run the city, but they can lead the.
And I'm not intending on running the city.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I can give the shoulders of the road. I can give the guidance. I can give the direction, and then hold people responsible and accountable for doing that.
And maybe lead, as the mayor would, the city council,
Yes.
and convince them using
Yes.
persuasive, logical, truthful data to
get them
move.
liquored up if you have to, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, take them out to the winery, and of course, then you have a quorum, so you got to be careful there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I used to work for a very, very large corporation, $2.5 billion corporation, where I was vice president of operations. So at one time I had 43 plants reporting to me worldwide, 6,000 people. I know how to lead things,
Yeah.
okay? I've sat on boards when that corporation, when they would do earnings calls with the public, for stock and that stuff, because it was a public, I sat on the earnings call. So I got asked a ton of questions, and you got to be very thick-skinned, because if you answer the question incorrectly, you'll see the stock either rise or fall tomorrow morning.
Oh, it can make a big difference. Yeah,
Absolutely. So, but then accountability. I'm big on accountability. You were put into a particular role to do something, and I'll give you the shoulders and the expectations, and I expect you to do your job.
Well, one thing that I know that we've been hard on, every candidate, every mayor that we've been involved with, and on the radio and on this podcast, is about the customer service orientation of the city towards small business owners and trying to get things, like permits.
Which I think it has gotten better.
Right. Oh, no, I was going to say that. Is it absolutely right? But
it's gotten better than it was.
But right. Oh, yeah, it's moved a long ways.
It was bad.
And I think if, as far as that goes, I hope that you would continue that as far as that, because what's measured is what you'll see the rest, the results of. If it's not measured, and customer service was never measured prior, and previous city manager and all that didn't seem to have a concern about that, but looks like we have. So you're going to be able to continue that.
And I'm going to notch it up as well too.
Okay.
Small businesses are the heartbeat of the United States, right? There are millions and millions of small businesses and not a lot of corporations. So I need to help these people move it along and be a fight for them. When they want to do some work inside of their buildings, make sure it's a very smooth process. They get what they need to be done, and there's no surprises at the end where, you can't get your certificate of occupation because you forgot to do this. That's so wrong. Absolutely so wrong. Well, and then also, just one more thing or two, there's funding available to these businesses from the 4A and 4B. I want to make sure they know about that and help them get that. I mean, I talked to a lot of downtown businesses. They're aware of it, but they don't know how to do that first step to ask for the money. What are the rules? What are the forms? I'm going to be their advocate.
Right. And then on that, though, as far as advocating, again, I brought this up the other day, is as much as I want and all for downtown business, and his business is downtown.
Well, but kind of. They don't consider it downtown.
Well, see, and it should.
The downtown people don't. I'm the downtown proud.
Right, but
you're the gateway to downtown.
I get it, but if you talk to the downtown development people, they don't see me as downtown.
Right. Well,
there's no downtown.
Well, there's no. Yeah, I was going to say not anymore. So,
the people that were downtown.
Yeah, so, but at the same time, I think when there was the big push here a number of years ago about downtown, that they were forgetting about the rest of us, and I think there needs to be a buy local. Encouraged, really a campaign.
Yes.
I'm talking about an actual some money being put in.
To that end, right now, there's nobody collectively marketing the downtown.
Exactly.
Everybody's doing their own thing, which is okay, but you're not going to get a lot of traction unless you get a cohesive, like the theaters district or the antique district or anything like that.
Right.
We need that piece and grow the downtown.
Okay.
Something I've pitched several times to different people on the city council and mayors and stuff like that is I really believe that you need a liaison. I think the city needs a liaison between the inspectors and the builder, the business owner.
Without a doubt.
The problem is inspectors, and they're not bad people, but they're usually old builders and contractors. Well, usually people who are contractors and stuff are not known for their personality skills. As a whole, they're just not. I mean, I'm not.
They're building nerds, just like the computer nerds.
Right. They're same thing with computer.
Right.
Terry's very open for a computer person, but he's not the typical computer.
He's usually somewhat introverted.
Yeah. And that's what happens. And so you almost need somebody who would be an independent person in there who is basically a salesperson, who can talk a little business here and talk business here, but then go to this meet with everybody together and sit down and say, okay.
Sort of a mediator, all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. Sit down with the inspector and say, okay, I need a punch list of everything that has to be done. But when this is done, it's punched out and it's completely done.
We forgot about this.
Or not another inspector comes in and stuff like that, because that's happened before. And that way, when it's all said and done and the inspector goes through and the mediator's there and the business owner or the builder, whoever's there, and that punch list is said, and once that is completed, they get their occupancy.
Yeah. To that end, I've had a chance to talk to a couple of home builders in town here and that stuff, and that's what they're complaining about. I get that if you're rehabbing a 100-year-old building, it's going to be difficult to be things that are just not quite right the way they did it, and you got to fix it, right? So there could be a gray area, but they still should rely on the city to guide them through that gray area. Conversely, brand new construction, they still struggle with that. And that should be so cookie cutter, it isn't funny, right? But they struggle with interpretations of the code and do it this way. Oh, you did it wrong. Let's go back that way. I don't have any tolerance.
Well, one thing is like turn the plugs upside down or upside up. Well, the prong up or the prong down. I mean, and that's changed several times.
That's where I think that's where the frustration has been. And like I said, I do believe that with the new city manager, I do believe that the customer service has gotten better. But I think what's happened is people are people. And sometimes when you're in a position of quote unquote power because you've been put there, in other words, if you want a permit, you got to come to me. Mm-hmm. And it's not that they're bad people, but that does get in people's heads if you don't keep yourself in check. Because if you want to build something in Wichita Falls, you can't go to Burke Burnett and get a permit.
Right.
If I want to drink
some, to come to them.
That's what I'm saying. If I want to drink some wine and I go out there and I don't like your wine or I don't like the way I was treated out there, I'm gonna go drink wine somewhere else,
absolutely.
or buy a motorcycle from somewhere else,
yes,
or a computer.
Yes.
So, but
yes.
whereas the city or the county or the state or whomever, they get into a place where they know there's no competition.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we all know what
I'm sorry, there is competition. They just don't consider it as competition.
Yeah, I think people know what bad customer service is. A lot of times they don't really see or feel good customer service, right? Well, I can recall a business I ran years ago that just they wouldn't pick the phone up. There was no callback. It was just poor customer service, right? So I sent a team, and I think they're still in business, for the Disney College. And they would do customer service training, right, for Disney World and everything. Mm-hmm. They were so good at it that if you had an absolutely poor day at Disney World, you'd leave happy, right? That's good customer service. And I got that team really engaged in that stuff, and it makes a world of difference in business as well as dealing with the general public.
That's interesting.
So what about, all right, so you've got not an announcement, but you've been phasing in your campaign various topics that you want to go over.
Yes.
So where are we on the data center?
All right, so you are going to be the first to know my opinion on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to come out pretty soon. So let's start with data centers, big picture, right?
Okay.
We need data centers. I mean, we've evolved over the last decade or two. We use that thing day in and day out. There's electronic files. There's all those kind of things. So I think data centers in general are a good thing, okay? I think we can have a spirited debate. There's over 5,000 of them in construction throughout the United States. Texas, I think, is number 1 or number 2. Are there too many out there, and do we need shoulders of the road to make sure our data is protected and things like that? I think I'm fine with that. For Wichita Falls, I am not an advocate right now, and I've done a ton of research on it. I've talked to a number of people outside Wichita Falls, the state of Texas, other communities, and I have not found one community that'll tell me that they're glad that they showed up. You're seeing a lot of noise out there, or a lot of topics where they're recalling city council members, they're putting moratoriums on things. As a matter of fact, the next session in the state of Texas, they're talking about tapping the brakes and slowing things down to make sure that our resources are protected, our electrical grid is protected, our natural resources are protected. And so I'm an advocate of that, okay? The second thing is there are many data centers teed up. There's one that's moving forward, and I've heard anywhere from 5 to 10 other ones coming here because of our location and everything. I'm fine with that. I think we need to have stronger zoning laws right now to make sure that they keep the shoulders of the road in place and we don't damage our community. But then even more importantly, good neighbor. This company or companies coming here will impact everybody in this city one way or another. And I think they should be more forthright of what they intend on doing. What I mean by that is I believe that city council should insist that Skybox or whoever they are have open meetings in the evening, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, 2 or 3 times, and show their plans to everybody who wants to come and let the community have input into it. And if the community as a whole says, yep, this is a good thing, I'll get behind it. But that has not happened yet. They've done meetings, but they're relatively in afternoons, small groups and that stuff, very targeted groups and that stuff. I think those are good, but the general person, the general population has not had any input.
Right.
The quick question I have about just in general on that is, if I buy a piece of property and I don't violate any zoning laws, what can the government do to stop me to build my private business?
Well, again, I said I think the zoning laws are not tight enough.
Okay, so you think the zoning would be the way to stop? Because in other words, you can't legally stop somebody from if I want to go build a motorcycle shop somewhere and I buy a piece of property and I want to build a motorcycle shop, you can't stop me from doing it.
No, I can't. But you're
not you. I'm talking about in general.
No, but that example would not have a greater impact on a community. These things are going to affect everybody.
No, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying I'm asking my questions because I don't even know what can a government entity do.
My first step would be very solid zoning laws.
Okay, so that's what the government entity could do.
Well, because a lot of them are using just general industrial right now, which is pretty broad brushed. I would say there should be a zoning law for data centers or zoning criteria for data centers.
So it's not stopping it. It's putting guidelines and restrictions.
Of the road,
saying that you can. It's your property. You bought it. You can build what you want on there, but it has to be very specific.
I'm with you on property rights and owners' rights. I get that. Yes.
Okay.
And I would say that's not only just true for Wichita Falls, wherever these things go in Oklahoma, Virginia.
Right. Yeah. Well, all right. So we got two things. You got future that you can do something about. I mean, but the current already moving forward looks like we're going to break ground beginning of next year or something like that, on the one out at the business park.
Yeah.
So that one is far enough along that there's not much you can do until you, in other words, the motion's already there. I don't know how to explain it well, but basically the current zoning laws are what they are. They've made their decisions based on the current stuff.
Correct.
So moving forward for them, what can the city still do, in terms of zoning laws? Can we make that retroactive or you say, hey, as of this date, the new one, and you got to comply? So, I mean, we got issues are what? Lighting?
Well,
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, it is water use. Okay. Everybody keeps telling me, these are closed loop systems. I'm a thermodynamics mechanical engineer. That is not true. Okay, they do use a lot less water than previous systems, but we still have to be worried about the chemicals that are passing through with proper disposal. The power grid, we have to be talking about that. Got to talk to lighting and that stuff. I don't think we're ready to have these many camps coming into town. Yeah. What about the school system? There's going to be a lot of kids maybe coming. This is going to be potentially a 4 or 5% immediate growth in a couple of years in a city that hasn't had any growth since 1960. What about the traffic patterns coming in and out of the industrial park? There's going to be 3,000 or 4,000 people 2 times a day wanting to get into that park.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough. Now, answer your question, Terry, I'm looking very hard to the Texas state government to do something next year during the next session. Remember I mentioned Abbott has been talking about tapping the brakes, put a moratorium. We do need that in place because I think there are other areas that are being more aggressively pursued than Wichita Falls, and I feel for those people and that stuff.
Right. Okay. So
but as far as, I guess to wrap up though, as far as the one that's already in motion, can the city really do much for this one, or is it kind of more on the future? What's next?
I'm not schooled enough to say what
don't
we
know
can
for sure.
do.
Okay,
I don't know for sure in that stuff. But they'll still have to go through a couple different permitting processes, inspections, and things like that. I do really want to see them come here and talk to the community, and as a neighbor, embrace them.
Right. Well, and here's the thing. So you're hearing, like you talked about the closed loop system, so on the water, and I've thought about that too. It's at some point you still have to empty it, right? And you said the other day, what do you think? Theoretically, how often should that water be replaced? As far as you know,
every 6 months. From my
that much, really?
From my experience, because the way the heat exchangers work, as the water passes through, it may build up some fouling factors like algae or calcium.
Right.
Well, that starts to become an insulator, so the efficiency of the heat exchanger starts to taper off.
But couldn't they put some chemicals, more chemicals? But
just out of curiosity, I was always told it was like a radiator of a car or motorcycle.
It's similar.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same. Okay. It's similar. But you still have to add water to your radiator.
Right. Well, very rarely.
But you still have to do that, right? Through evaporation and things like that. There are times where you got to flush your radiator too, right?
Yeah, about.
You should.
You should.
Yeah, and it depends on your miles and everything. Yes, no, I agree. It's you don't put antifreeze your radiator one time and you're done for the rest of your life.
Typically not. Yeah. So these are very similar. But again, when you're in an industrial complex, if your radiator in your car starts to foul out, or it doesn't matter. You probably don't even notice it. But in an industrial complex, you start to see the heat change. There's instrumentation saying you need to look at your
Right, because you're not as efficient. You have sensors along the way, along the path, and plus you're connecting and disconnecting to that coolant because you're going to have computers, some technician of those 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever number of jobs. There's going to be a dude or a woman running around swapping out units and in and out and clicking into the coolant and all that. So there's going to be a little loss over time.
Yes.
But anyway, if you believe what the contractors and the engineers on their side are saying is it should be about every 5 years you swap this water out.
That would be a stretch.
But then you have
As somebody who's educated.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
no,
right.
seriously,
Right.
so you're an-
But
you
you can
have
challenge,
bona fides. I
right,
don't, but you do.
and look at real numbers and all of that. So now on the electric side, they're telling us that we have enough capacity. Supposedly, Encore has said that we have enough capacity. We're sending power back to the grid, is my understanding, because we're allocated this much and we're only using, say, that much. So there seems to be that part of it, and that seems to be Encore. I don't know why would they say that if that's true?
Well, how many times have we lost power in this community?
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, but at the same time, though, they if my understanding is correct, they're going to have a power plant out there to cover the backup, and they're also a low priority. If we need the power, like during the summer, then they have to scale back. And there is technologies coming out. I saw 2 or 3 different companies out there that are selling some management software that puts big computational jobs that scales them and balances it all throughout their different networks and all that. So there's technology out there for that. But anyway, that's one of the things. So who do you believe?
Well, that's why, again, getting back to what I said, I need to see Skybox stand up and answer these questions and stuff.
That
now,
makes
you
sense.
mentioned about backup power. You know how backup power is created at a data center?
Well, it would be
Batteries? I don't know.
well, no, it'd be a generator,
Driven by a jet engine.
right?
So, have you ever been next to a jet
Oh,
engine?
it's loud. Yeah. Well, you hear what we
Every
all
time when I fly private to Europe.
No, but actually, the real world. Shepherd Air Force Base.
Oh, yeah.
Every so often, they're running engines out on the flight line because they have a hush house, and they run the engines, the back of the airplanes sometimes.
We
the
call
jet
that the
engine.
sound of freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
But at Sheriff Air Force Base.
Right. But it goes constant for a while. But
Yeah.
So, there are going to be, I'm going to assume, 8 to 10 gen sets out there. That means 8 to 10 gas turbine engines running. You're going to have to start them every once in a while to see if they work.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
So, they're going to run.
Right.
How many times a month? I don't know.
Yeah.
Those are the questions.
Those are the
Right,
questions we
right.
know.
Okay, well, that's
well,
fair.
interesting. So, tell everybody, as we wrap up, how they can get a hold of you. And is there a place to go look to see your beliefs, your platforms, and the things
you're talking about the mayor thing.
Yes.
Okay, because I thought you were switching back to the winery.
No.
Okay. So first off, I do have a phone number, so please reach out to me, 940-613-9050. Also, I'm encouraging people to stop me when you see me out. And I've had a ton of people run into me at United or Market Street or wherever. So talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking. I want to hear what you're thinking. At the same time, have an adult conversation on a lot of things. And
That's very important, having an adult conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
not a screaming match and not a me.
Right. And then also take a look at my Facebook site, Scott Poetenisch for Mayor. You can start to
pulling it up
see
right now.
as things start to go on. I took some time after my announcement to kind of lay the foundation work. I know a lot of people know me, but I also know a lot of people don't know me.
Yeah.
So I gave them some background of my in-depth and breadth inside of Wichita Falls, my professional background, where I've lived and that stuff, my skills and abilities, my resume, to kind of tell them I do have the qualifications to run a city of 100,000 and 260 million in budget. Now I'm going to start coming forward with some thoughts on things like budgets, responsibilities, accountabilities, the mall, waterfall. You just keep
people
going.
need to keep an eye out
Absolutely.
for it. So
Absolutely.
right now, there's only 2 people that have filed, right?
To my knowledge,
you
yes.
and Tim.
Mr. Short, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Have you heard whether there's anybody else who's interested?
They have until the 17th of August, so
Yeah.
I'll wait till the 18th.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right.
Okay,
Well,
here
it
we go.
sounds like there you go. And it does sound like there's going to be there's kind of right now. Of course, there's probably a lot of differences, but the one big one right this minute is Tim is very in favor of the data center, and you're skeptical of the data center right now.
You're not against it. You're just
You're
skeptical. I think that's a good.
You're
Yeah.
skeptical. That's why I use the word skeptical,
Yeah.
not against.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm. So right now there is going to be that kind of dividing line, so people can can kind of look. People who are voters can kind of look
Right.
to see which direction that they feel like we need to go on.
And I'm going to do one more step here. I'm encouraging the citizens of Wichita Falls to look at our qualifications, our abilities, skills, and abilities, and that stuff, and not spend money. I threw out a challenge to Mr. Short or anybody else who enters the race. Don't spend more than $25,000. I'm putting the people of Wichita Falls first and not spend my way to the office.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then, and it also sounds like I've not even heard until now. I haven't really heard Tim Short coming from your mouth. You've focused on what you are doing, and I think that's awesome for people to do. No matter which side you ultimately vote for, that to me seems to play into a decision of how you handle yourself as much as it is your position.
Yes.
Right? It's instead of tearing the other people down, you focus on what you can do, not what you can't do or what the other guy
We
can't
are in a
do.
democracy, and the beauty of this is you can choose who your next leader is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make a case that I'd like to be that leader.
Okay.
Absolutely. Great job. Thank you very much, Scott.
All right.
Great to see you.
Same here.
Let's wrap it up here.
Yeah. So, so next week, what do we got coming?
Emily Antonio is going to be in.
Who?
She's a Turning Point USA,
Oh.
Western State University Turning Point USA chair.
Okay.
And so keep
All right.
going.
Well,
We skipped a lot
Yeah, I
of that
know.
stuff.
Yeah,
We'll go back
we were
to
already
it.
at the end here.
ran
Here we go. So, so Emily, is it
Antonio.
Antonio? Okay. So
just like that.
7:30. Yep.
Without the sand. It's
Right.
San Antonio without the sand.
All right. So be sure to share this and let everybody
It's easier
know.
to spell and say than Poetenisch.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and we got Scott here. Thanks, Scott, for being here, and
Absolutely,
appreciate you having a positive attitude all through all of this. So, but anyway, join us next Thursday. Doggone it, next Friday. Not Thursday, but Friday morning, 7:30, and share this and let all your friends know.
Did you give Terry the wine earlier?
Yeah.
You've been in the wine earlier this morning? Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here. So as Mike always said, we will see you down the road.
Holy smokes,
Jeez,
guys.
I know. Here we go.
Get the wine guy in. You can't talk.
Hey, yay. All right.